It's your girl here. It's Kavanda. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today is actually going to be my first post on my channel, and the content that I am going to be talking about today is sickle cell disease. So this month, the month of September, is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and so I have been just, spinning my wheels here, spinning my brain here, trying to come up with what would be my first content on my YouTube channel. So I think this is just a great way to start. So if you want to hear more about this content, stay tuned. So, okay guys, so this month is September and it is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. For you that are new to my channel, my name is Kavanda and I am on a mission to be healthy and whole 364 days out of the year. I'm at least giving myself one day for grace. And so on my channel, I want to share information that's going to encourage and that's going to uplift and just bring a positive awareness in all areas of your life and of my life. And so today I just wanted to come on really quick and talk about sickle cell disease. So I was diagnosed with sickle cell disease as an infant. At the age of about 3 months old is when I got the diagnosis. My mom came in the room and I was in my crib just to check on me because I was fairly quiet. And when she came in, she stated that I was balled up so tight in this little bitty ball, and she couldn't get me unstuck. And she didn't know what to do, and so she rushed me to the hospital. And from there, they ran all these tests. Now, mind you, this was back in the 70s. I'm telling my age a little bit here. This was back in the 70s, and sickle cell disease was not known. It wasn't, something that a lot of medical doctors or professionals had information to. And so they just had to run all these tests to try to figure out what it was that I had. And so from there, they did run the test and then came back and told my mom, oh, your beautiful, beautiful baby girl has sickle cell disease. And so from there is how my life kind of began. And I just have always lived a life with sickle cell disease. And so for you guys that don't know what sickle cell disease is, it is a genetic blood disorder. Your red blood cells do not come formed correctly in that oval shape. They come sickled. And so when those sickled blood cells sometimes don't produce enough oxygen, it can cause you to cause pain. And sometimes those sickle cells, because the way that they are shaped, are not able to flow through your veins in a smooth manner. And sometimes those sickle cells can cluster and cause you to have blockage. So your blood flow is not flowing evenly and it causes a lot of severe pain. There is a lot of complications that come from sickle cell disease, so I thank God that He has blessed me so much. And I always think of myself as the woman in the Bible that just touched the cloak of God's garment and her blood disorder, she was healed from that. And so I'm claiming that. I've always been claiming that since about 16 years old. And so one day when I go to the doctors and they run my blood, they're going to be like, oh, come on now, what in the world happened? You don't have sickle cell anymore. There's no trace. And so that's what I'm claiming. That's what I'm believing for. And I know God can do it. But sickle cell disease is very serious. It can cause a lot of complications due to you losing a lot of oxygen at times. It causes it can cause severe damage to your organs, which causes your liver, your kidneys, and your heart. All of these things can face complication over time. Another thing that's really, really important to know about sickle cell is the pain crises. So when you are in these pain crises just due to your cells sickling, they're always sickled, but I describe it as when my cells begin to sickle or cluster up, the pain is unbearable. There's nothing that can really help. this disease, even if you get treated for the crises to help the pain go away, the only way it really goes away is with high doses of narcotics, and that can definitely help. It just kind of basically numbs you in the pain. You go to sleep, and then when you wake up, sometimes the pain is gone, sometimes it's not, or sometimes it's bearable. Most of the time, people with sickle cell disease live with the pain every single day. It's just always there. You know, becomes a part of you. You know how to deal with it. So your levels of pain can go up and down depending on where you are. If you stress yourself a whole lot, you can find yourself in a lot of pain crises. Some people just can't deal with the pain. They end up getting addicted to the medications. So I try not to take a whole lot of medications, so my body is not conducive to them. So when I do take them, they help, they do work. So that's kind of like my story of sickle cell. I will share more about that, but I just wanted to come on briefly just to tell everyone, if you are dealing with sickle cell, know that God is in your corner. He's fighting your battles. Know that it too shall pass. I can tell you from experience, I know that the pain is, really difficult. Sometimes it can be, unbearable. It's really hard, but God is always there fighting our corners. Another thing about sickle cell, there's a great amount of resources out there for us. If you do some research, you will find some. One of my favorite websites to go to is the National, I wrote it down so I won't forget it. I know the acronyms, but I don't know like exactly what it says. So the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. So they do a lot of initiatives towards finding a cure for sickle cell disease. So they have a lot of trial studies. You can participate in trial studies if you want to. One misconception is there is no cure for sickle cell disease, but there is a misconception. There is a cure for sickle cell disease. It's just risky and very costly. The only two ways that are known right now where you can get a cure for sickle cell disease is one, with bone marrow, through bone marrow, or two, with stem cell research. So that's where those two things, you have to have a really great match. Most of the time it can be from a sibling, and you have to be monitored, and you have to make sure that match is happening, because basically what they're doing is switching out your old produced sickled red blood cells and replacing them with healthy cells. And so it is other research out there, some that are probably not prevalent too, because this is basically a minority disease. And so physicians and doctors really don't have a lot of contact with people that have sickle cell disease, just because it is a minority disease. And the way that you are treated sometimes when you have sickle cell can be very depressing. It can cause you not to even want to seek treatment, just because of the way that you are treated at times when you have sickle cell disease, as being a minority. Yeah, it's rough, it's hard, but there is hope. God is in control of everything. We just have to stand up, speak out more, and fight. I'm over the years, I have worked with different sickle cell places and sickle cell companies, or sickle cell, sickle cell support groups. And then, I did it in phases. In this season of my life, I was about that. Some other seasons, I was like, no, I'm tired of hearing too many sad stories. And so this phase of my life, I'm currently not like really active in the sickle cell community, but it's something that God is pressing on my heart again. So maybe I will find another sickle cell chapter, is what they call them, and get more involved. I just really want people that are facing any type of disease or illnesses to know that God is a healer. God is a rescuer. We can't get through anything if we continue to pray and we continue to press into Him. What else I want to tell you guys about sickle cell? Sickle cell is becoming more and more widespread across the United States. It's over 100,000 people right now excuse me, that are affected with sickle cell, born with sickle cell. And so it is a genetic disorder. So the only way you're able to get it is if two parents have the gene, is a carrier of the gene, and you get it, and you are born with the genetic disease. So two parents have to have it, which is called the trait, and then they get together and have a child, which forms the disease. So that's kind of how you get sickle cell. I will be bringing you more about sickle cell. Place your questions and your comments on there, and I will come back and answer some of your questions, any questions that you may have. If you want to ask me more about sickle cell, if you want to ask me how to deal with the pain, if you want to ask me some of the trials and situations that I went through. And so I think I'm going to make a segment called Sickle Cell Saturday. And so that way on Saturdays, I'll just come in and answer questions and give you bits and pieces of more of my testimony. So for now, you guys, it is September. So if you want to get involved, there are many things going on within your community for Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So stay tuned. I'll be bringing you more content on sickle cell and spreading more awareness. I might be having some people come on telling about their experiences or giving you more of my personal experiences. So hit the thumbs up button, like me, share me, do all those great things that people tell you to do at the end of the video. And I'll see you later. Bye.